So many great things came out of Stormblood. The dungeons, the bosses, the references, and it all comes together with an updated battle system that has been revised twice so that 2 of their very new jobs don't own the field like they will anyway because they attack like fucking trucks. But where good things come into a game you were looking forward to, you will also have the bad. The long haul of being a tank could have been frustrating for you if you were a Dark Knight or perhaps a warrior. Paladins don't have that. They don't count because those bastards seem to have gotten the best upgrades out of all the classes. Maybe. Not to mention the clusterfuck of players trying their damnedest to all play at the same time and constant DDoS attacks which made playing feel more tedious than fun in some occasions. But who am I to complain about something they're actually trying to fix constantly? No, that was in the past and we need to look forward to the future. But I found myself with another certain problem that's in the new content. This is after the initial story and pretty much after you reach endgame. So now 14 has an infestation of a certain group of people. I'm talking about newbie potion jumpers. Now I know it's rude, I shouldn't say infestation. They're more like, they are interested new fellows eagerly starting to associate themselves into online nastiness. And I say this with the nicest of meaning because 14 isn't without their a-holes and troublemakers, but these new players are just waiting in line to be yelled at by the community's more impatient players. We have all kinds of problem children in 14, like trolls, perfectionists, and rude dudes, but newbie potion jumpers are something of a baby in the line of children. Yet they don't know anything about the game when they come in, and for the most part, they're coming in with the purest of intent, so I can really respect that. They want to play a game that has other MMO players in awe, whether they heard of it, played it, or is currently still playing. These newbies were informed one way or another by someone or something to play or replay the game. Replay meaning returning players who have played 14 and are coming back for the additional content, but now must get their bearings for a lot of stuff may have changed for them. Some potion jumping is justified, like the returning players not wanting to work so flippin' hard to get a class up to level 50, just so they can go through Heavensward and Stormblood with it, or veteran players jumping a class to 60 from perhaps an exceedingly low level discipline, because they really don't have time for this shit. Newbies, no. Just no. I understand you want to play with the rest of us, or perhaps you want to play with a friend, but unless that friend can teach you everything you need to know in the span of a day, whilst they go on their own adventure, because, you know, they don't have all the time in the world to help your sprout self, then I'd suggest taking your time in the game starting from the very beginning, potion jumped or not. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to teach you the game better than the game itself. I once had a healer come into the level 61 dungeon of Stormblood with bare knowledge of healing and only just got into the game. The proof was in the one level 60, 2 discipline of land and hands, which were only at like level 40 at the most, and 2 other classes below level 50, meaning they potion jumped to level 60 with bare minimum knowledge of the game and expected to have everything down at the start of a new expansion to a game that has been out for years now. Lo and behold, they didn't know what the stack marker looked like and killed themselves during the first boss. I was a red mage at the time, so the damage was minimum, but that wasn't what alarmed me. What really alarmed me was that they said that the stack marker was only seen once before going into the Stormblood content. Once. As most of us would know, the stack marker was introduced in Heavensward to make stacking a more obvious thing to see, to help with understanding that this is where we must stack with each other, or else that one person who's being targeted will die. The death in the dungeon was nothing compared to seeing that on my screen. Like, what? The marker was at least used in raids, dungeons, and trials way before Stormblood was even shown to us, and this person only seen it once? In the Nidhogg fight? This showed me that they were either sheeped along for the whole way of Heavensward, only now just got into the game and did a trial with Niddy before touching the level 61 dungeon, or they were just too plain stupid to understand the obvious marker that they saw at least once before, which was a stacking mechanic for stacking purposes, especially seeing how Niddy is a no-joke opponent when level synced. Whatever the reason was, this only opened my mind's eye to notice the slew of newbie potion jumpers that were basically all over the place. I just never flippin' noticed. Like, why is this tank not a paladin yet at level 45? And why do I need to tell a dragoon that the armor they wear does not qualify them for being off tanks? Okay, scratch that last part. They are totally qualified to be certified tanks, so go right ahead, dragoon. This made me feel like I just took the red pill, and now I can't stop seeing them. Everywhere I go, in old dungeons, roulette, 50 to 60, or even experts, and even the new raids, a single class, Dark Knight, who had no idea what to do in Susano because they kept thinking grip was something to take off while they were the main tank. They knew nothing of their cooldowns, and they had the goal to yell at the party's healers for not keeping him alive. Listen, buddy, if I weren't behind this monitor, I'd smack you so hard you fly back to 2015 where you could relearn how to use Dark Knight at even the most minimum of bases. You weren't even at minimum experience. It was like you just started playing the game or so- Oh, wait. I don't like ranting, you guys. I really don't. By all means, play the game. By all means, go through the content for hours on end. By all means, welcome the Final Fantasy XIV. By all means, use a jump potion. But please, don't assume you know the game because of past MMO experiences. You may find that there are things you don't know and must learn to progress through the game. Don't think that Stormblood's content will teach you the game because Square offered you an effortless way to get into the latest content. If the game is new, learn the game. Catch yourself up on the meta of the tank, healers, and DPS. Take on past content to make sure you have a grasp for the game. Know that some pieces of past content is highly irrelevant and are just used for leveling now rather than its intended purposes that was sought after back when the content was relatively new. Make friends in case you have questions, or ask your friends how to be the most of what you are and what you choose to be. Learn about its economy and the disciplines that can help you stay up to date with a system that constantly changes. The land and hand disciplines are something to be very aware of. Something I myself must learn to be a profitable player in a server that considers itself to be rich for some reason. Start from the first dungeon to get a hang on things, or if you're confident, start with mid-tier starter dungeons like Brayflock's Longstop. Or, if you're returning, redo the Heavensward content all over again. If not, YouTube is a thing. YouTube really being the best place to start, with content creators like Mr. Happy for content updates and information about the game, MTQ Captures Mistech for dungeon guides that are easy to understand, Mithri with lessons on land and hand disciplines, among other entertaining content creators like Larry Zer for funny as hell videos.
White mages and black mages couldn't get along. Probably something to do with the fact black mages were always yelling at the healers to adjust. Eventually, the black mages learned to teleport to their ley lines anyway, so they made friends with the white mages.
Ribbit.
Fuck! No! No! What? No! Wait, Rid sacrificed herself to do that. We are both frogs. Oh no, I lost foul. I lost foul. When I said healers adjust, I didn't mean like this.
Or Thamriel with his streams, showing what teamwork really does for hard content and also helping people out in the community.
What is it? What? This is Dalaran, everybody. This is Dalaran. He has crap on his face, scars, a butterfly tattoo, and a stupid...
So, I'm playing a hunter and you're a pet, okay? Except if it's a hunter and you're playing a feral, okay?
Wow!
Simple as that.
That's such a demeaning thing to say. What the hell?
I don't give a shit.
I'm a hunter and you're a pet.
That's how it goes. Kill
Oh my god!
No.
Or, less it to say, me. I'm more in a line that delves into beginner guides and entertain with lore content. All these YouTubers do a great job in helping the community, and if you wish to dive into the knowledge well and start your road to understanding, I'd suggest this, Reddit, forums, or even the in-game help tab. Learn the menus, play around and customize your HUD, Windows tab, skills, and even macros. Yes, this game also has macros. Get familiar with your skills on the plethora of test dummies left around the world and see if they work in lower dungeons, and by all means, enjoy the game as best as you can. If this all seems too much, explore. The game is open, but beware. As I said in the beginning, we do have our fair share of impatient players. Elitists, raiders, perfectionists, rude people, and the occasional nice person who is just very impatient. Avoiding a kick from them is all I wish to prevent from happening to you, the newbie who just so happens to have a jump potion. In the beginning of this video, sure, I was a bit aggressive with words and made it seem like they were the problem, but that can't be farther from the truth. It is the responsibility of people like me and veterans, in fact, to at least give a helping hand to the newcomers. I mean, we aren't savages, people, and most of us don't wish to see people leave the game. Most of us. To make the game fun is all our goal, and to as much I preach tips and what to do in order to get comfortable in the game, it's ultimately up to you, the new guy, to adhere to my, and if not, our advice for starting the game off with ease. And though jumping up to Stormblood is a good gesture to the game and community, not knowing the basics is not. Keep in mind, it ain't fun to wipe at the first boss in the first dungeon on your first day in Stormblood, and getting yelled at is even worse. With that said, I myself did get a bunch of classes to level 70 because Syncweaver needs to heed his own advice. And if this is your first time seeing one of my videos, welcome. I'm the Syncweaver, and I'm the lore guy within the Final Fantasy community. I do lore and beginner guide videos. Check out my stuff on my channel, and if you like what you see, please subscribe and enjoy. And as I said before, if you wish for in-depth and easy to understand dungeon guides, I suggest MizTech or MTQ Capture, Mr. Happy for updates to the game and happenings within the community, Mythri for land and hand lessons along with streams, Thamriel and Larry Zer for entertaining videos, Thamriel being a good friend of mine and a fantabulous streamer, and why not follow them on their social medias and subscribe to them as well. And if you love us, donate, pledge to their Patreons, and help us out, because YouTube sure ain't. And as always, I'm the Syncweaver. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on my next adventure.